How you doing? Blood orange juice, don't you love that? It's a treat. It's not an everyday thing. There's this commercial that has worn me down. It is about animals. They say that, all dogs are born in the wild. And even if they're pets, like at your home, and all cats are born from like the lynx. So I look at my cats and they're in the window and I see those ears pointed and I'm like, you know what? After today's show, I'm going on an excursion. I'm gonna get them some of that, Norman. They've sucked me in. I'm not gonna get a whole bunch of it. Yeah, well, no, I've seen it so many times. And the idea that they're eating just regular cat food, they're born from the lynx. Why should they not be eating, stuff that a lynx does? And then as long as I'm out, I need to get back on my eating path. This thing with juice, because it was only water for a moment and vitamins. I'm trying the best I can, but I'm tired of my own cooking. I'm tired of it. So I want some soup, but not the kind that you go in the grocery store. I will never do that again. With that ladle.
Oh, no. No, gone, honey.
So I'm going to look for an open soup man.
Yeah.
And I want a large wedding soup. Those little meatballs in there. I want that. And I also want a Manhattan clam chowder. I think New England will be just too much. Too much
cream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though that's my favorite, but I'll go with Manhattan. Anyway, so good news for Mary-Kate Olsen. She's getting a divorce. Normally we don't cheer for something like that, but she had been dating this older man. He's 50, Sarkozy. They were married for 5 years, together for 8 years. Remember, these are the two. He's so tall and she's so short, and he always looked like he was dating his daughter. And they both love to smoke cigarettes. And at their wedding, they had bowls of cigarettes sitting around for everybody to just smoke. Well, Olivier wants her stuff out of the apartment by Monday. Monday! Now, if you live in a building, then a lot of times the freight elevators aren't open over the weekend. Even if you're an Olsen twin worth over $250 million, they're not going to make an exception. She claims that she was just told about this, that he just let the lease run out. So in effect, I guess Mary-Kate will be homeless? Wah, wah, wah. How old is she now?
Mary-Kate and Ashley are 33.
33. Geez, they've lived a lot. Well, she says she has an ironclad prenup and she wants that prenup enforced, with the exception of she needs her stuff out of the house. He's cruel, though, just letting the lease run out. I wonder what went wrong with their relationship. I never heard about them fighting. I virtually forgot about them as a couple or individuals. So there's this project, right? And it's called No Kid Hungry. And they rejected Tekashi 6ix9ine's $200,000 that he wanted to give to the project. Well, organizations are allowed to take money from who they would like to accept it from and reject money. But why would you do that now? When people are donating money now, your average person, they're giving $1, $5, no dollar. Celebrities, they give their money, allegedly, what they say. But here's the thing. Tekashi is now 24 years old. And I really don't know this man for anything other than a few songs now, because now that I know him, you know what I mean? How long have you known him, Norman?
A couple when he started getting in trouble a couple years ago.
Yeah, yeah. But you realize he's been more famous than that. Like
Right.
all of his life, he's been doing this.
Undergrounds and mixtapes and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is his way of life. I only knew him when he started getting in trouble and then going to jail and then tattooing his face and then finding out he got mixed up in street activity that he wasn't built for, trying to be cool. And then he faked asthma, which a lot of people do. I don't know whether he has asthma or not, but a lot of people are getting out of jail these days and serving their time at home. So he's one of these people. Allegedly, Tekashi's out in Long Island, right? Well, I can say it now because there's a teenager in the neighborhood who posted it because Tekashi went outside to brag on his money. Look at this. Okay, what is the purpose of the shark? Is there a song called Shark Sharky? Like, is he that bored with his money? Here's what I picture for him. I picture for him that he will have to move once a month for the rest of his life because so many people want him dead. He put out one song the other day and made over $20 million off of one song. Oh, excuse me, $2 million. Well, still, what a haul.
Right.
Just sitting in the house, laying low. I still think that he's surrounding himself by the wrong people, though. Because anybody around him living in that house with him would say, stay away from the windows and doors. Don't go outside. What are you doing? I don't know. Tekashi might have turned over a new leaf and maybe wants to give a message to the kids. Don't do what I do. Don't go to jail. Don't tattoo your face. Go to school. Don't be a rapper. There are a lot of rappers who don't even like him, including Snoop and all them. They can't stand him. But he's making that dough. Anyway, there are other charities that do want to do business with Tekashi. And if I were him, I would link up with these other charities and I would give them the $200,000 and go on with your life. And good luck trying to disguise yourself moving around, you and your motley crew. In the meantime, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, there's this person who used to be on it. I don't remember this person at all, but it's important that we talk about Maurice Mo Fain. Carly Red used to date him. Now, she doesn't have any kids by him, but apparently he does have some kids. And he went to the bank, I guess probably at the beginning of quarantine before the banks all closed down, and secured a nice little loan. And instead of using the money for his moving company, because that's what he said he does for a living, he used the money on jewelry, child support, and a new Rolls Royce. Look at this man. And what is he, almost 40?
He is 37.
Yeah. Lock him up. See, and that's part of the problem also, between donating to charity or the banks giving loans to wrong people. So now he's gonna have to pay this money back. So the authorities busted into his house with search warrants, and they found all kinds of Rolexes and diamonds, about $85,000 worth of stuff, including, after shaking down his jeans, $9,000 in his jeans alone. Oh, allegedly.
This is all alleged.
Alleged. Adele impersonators are very, very upset, and I'll tell you why. Because they went out of their way to gain weight, a lot of them, to be better Adele impersonators. And now that Adele has lost the weight, they're like, we're out of work. What are we gonna do? Well, she lost 100 pounds. I mean, it could maybe make you wanna lose weight and keep up with Adele. Or, you know, like with Elvis, there's fat Elvis, there's skinny Elvis, there's in between, there's fat Luther, skinny Luther. You know, people understand.
There's young Michael, there's old Michael. There's
yes.
Yeah.
So don't worry, impersonators. Do you. Just make sure that the face reads Adele, and the hair, and the attitude. You know what I mean? So now it's time for the Hot Five. Hit it! Please welcome to our show from People Now, Jeremy Parsons. Hi, Jeremy. How you doing?
Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Hey, you've been close to my heart. I use this mug at least once a week just to think of you and to feel connected.
Thank you, Jeremy. So let's get started. What's number 5?
Number 5 is Essence Magazine's 50th anniversary issue. Really big deal here. Obviously, Essence broke major barriers in 1970 when it was first published specifically for African-American women. Naomi Campbell is on this huge milestone cover. Here's the part that's kind of wild. Because of the pandemic, it all had to be done remotely. So you literally had Naomi Campbell doing her own makeup, her own hair, and she was her own photographer, basically.
Love it.
Yeah, the cover photo and some of the photos inside were done on her iPhone. There's an in-depth interview with her about the pandemic and how it's forced her to slow down and kind of think about life. All of that anticipating turning 50 next week. So a lot going on with her. And that 50th issue is also going to take a look at some of the stories that have really impacted the Black community specifically over the last 50 years, all the way up to now with coronavirus and how that's specifically affecting the community. So Essence's 50th anniversary issue on stands now.
Okay, what's number 4, Jeremy?
Number 4, I think you're going to love this one. Andre Leon Talley's memoir, The Chiffon Trenches. He's one of your good friends, right?
Well, I haven't talked to Andre in a moment. Because,
Okay.
you know, I had to tell Andre about being left behind.
Okay. You know what? I watched your last interview with him, and he's just fantastic. He's got 50 years of behind the scenes stories of the who's who of fashion. He did blast his old boss, Anna Wintour, as you know.
That is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I had to tell him, you know, Anna Wintour only cares about Anna Wintour. Andre, why would you think that she would hold on to you as a dear friend? She doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, so he addresses that blurb from the book actually got a lot of headlines. So the publishers moved the release date from September back to this coming Tuesday. So he talks about that, talks about Karl Lagerfeld, how he says that he ended their 40-year friendship over a disagreement. But then he also talks about things like the racism he's faced and the weight discrimination and ageism that he's faced in the fashion industry. So all that, you can get caught up with it. Andre Leon Talley's memoir. It's called The Chiffon Trenches, and it's out on Tuesday.
You know, fun fact about him, he's one of the only people that I know who still will not tell his age. He will not say his age.
Wait, do you secretly know?
No, I don't even care.
Okay, I don't know.
I mean, you know, older.
Okay.
All right, what's number 3, Jeremy?
Number 3 is celebrity escape room. So escape rooms have become this huge trend. I did one with my friends for the first time this past year. Have you ever done one, Wendy?
No.
So do you know what they are?
You go in a room and put together puzzles?
Yeah, kind of. You get trapped. You're kind of put into a themed room, and that room you have puzzles and clues to kind of get out of it, which scarily sort of sounds like real life now. Like, how are we going to get out of all this? But Escape Room, Celebrity Escape Room, is on NBC. It's a special for charity. It's executive produced by Ben Stiller and Jack Black. They're going to be involved along with Courtney Cox and Lisa Kudrow and Adam Scott, navigating through a bunch of escape rooms. And it's really, really funny. And by the way, it's all part of Red Nose Day, which is that campaign to end child poverty. So Escape Room starts it, and then there's a 2-hour Red Nose Day special that's going to have big stars with music and comedy performances: Gwen Stefani, Blake Shelton, Ray Romano, many more. It's a fun thing, and it happens every year. Celebrity Escape Room kicks it all off. That's Thursday at 8 o'clock on NBC.
Okay, number two?
Number two is a movie that I love. It's called The High Note. A lot of anticipation for this. So this movie stars Tracee Ellis Ross. She's playing a music superstar icon, which is a world that she may know a little bit about, being Diana Ross's daughter. In this movie, her character is dealing with the later phases of her career and how the music industry deals with and treats women as they get older. Dakota Johnson, yeah, it's really great. Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades of Grey is her assistant in this, and it deals with their relationship. Then Ice Cube plays her manager. Kind of cool because we get to hear Tracee Ellis Ross actually sing in this movie. And this is one of those. Yeah, this is one of those that was supposed to go to theaters, but because of the pandemic and everything, they're releasing it straight to in-home viewing and on demand. And we have a little clip of it right now.
Have you thought any more about the Vegas residency?
Actually, I think it's time I record a new album.
I mean, that's one plan.
What am I supposed to say to her? I'm just a personal assistant, but I'd love to produce your music.
Let me do my job and you do yours, which is get her coffee, Kleenex, Kotex, and whatever else the hell we've been paying you to do for the last 6 months.
I've been here for 3 years.
You get paid? I thought you were an intern.
My life is a joke! Ugh!
It's really bleak out there for middle-aged singers. In the history of music, only 5 women over 40 have ever had a #1 hit, and only one of them was Black.
Wow, that looks really good.
Yeah, The High Note will be on demand in just 2 weeks on May 29th. Check it out.
Okay, what about number one? What's number one?
Number one, Graduate Together, the special. It's a big, big deal. Over 3 million high school seniors aren't getting a proper graduation. LeBron James decided to do something about that with his foundation, along with some other organizations, for this huge primetime special. It's going to be airing on all the major networks, streaming on YouTube and other platforms. You're going to hear President Barack Obama giving the commencement, other commencement speeches and addresses and things being given by other stars, as well as musical performances. So some of the lineup includes Yara Shahidi from Blackish and Grownish. The Jonas Brothers are going to be performing. Grammy winner Her, who's a fan favorite, she'll be there. Broadway star Ben Platt, and then Lena Waithe and Pharrell are also on that list. Plus stories from students and educators, and they're going to give money out to some students. It's a huge moment to celebrate all the graduates this year, and that is Graduate Together. It airs tomorrow at 8 p.m., so check that out.
The graduates have been through so much. That is so nice. Jeremy, thank you so much for being here. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Wendy. Good to see you.
And now it's time for Ask Wendy. Who's first?
Hey, Wendy. How you doing?
How you doing? What's your name? Where are you from? What do you do?
My name is Laura Lee. I'm a plus-size model in New York City, and I live in West New York, New Jersey.
Okay, how can I help you, Laura Lee?
So I'm Latina, and you know how Latinos, we love to talk. And I have a girlfriend who's been calling me during the quarantine, talking about her man, what he did, what he didn't do, what he's going to do, and I've had it. I can't take it anymore. I would like to know how I can talk to her, maybe tell her something so that she can not be upset with me by not wanting to talk about this issue anymore, because there's so many more things we can talk about. I'm just over it.
Well, tell her just the way you just told me. You know, as a matter of fact, when we hang up, call her up and say, you know, your relationship with your man is between the two of you. After quarantine is over, you guys are still going to be in love. I don't want to be involved. You know, just let's talk about anything but that. I am making a request. And if you bring him up, I'm